If you're in your 20s and you avoid people and you have no friends, you need to watch this. Hi, Busa here, from Elevate Worth. I just want to help you if you're in your 20s and you find yourself avoiding people and you have no friends. Right. So I was in my 20s, I avoided people and I didn't have friends. I had people that I went to school with. I had people that I spoke to, but I would not call them friends. So now, here's the thing. I didn't know anything about narcissism. So, having learned about narcissism, this is your turn, this is your chance in your 20s to learn all about toxic relationships, abusive relationships, abusive mothers, toxic fathers, toxic siblings, toxic aunts, toxic uncles, you name it, toxic work employees, toxic business partners, toxic anything, okay? Because what I've come to realize is that when you're in a narcissistic, when you've got a narcissist in your life, they'll devalue you, they'll gaslight you, you'll be, they'll go on a smear campaign. Smear campaign, oh God. They'll work so hard just to make sure you've got no self-image, you've got no self-confidence, you've got no sense of self-worth. So therefore, without all those things, there's no way you can be friends with anybody, can you? There's no way you have the confidence to approach people. So with that said, you need to know what narcissism is, and the cycle of abuse that is involved in narcissistic abuse. Narcissistic abuse isn't just with love partners, or love, it isn't just found in a love relationship. It could be from a parent. How do I know that? Because I had a narcissistic parent in the form of my mother, but because I didn't know anything about narcissism, I just used to wonder why I feel like she's not my mom, why I I didn't enjoy her company, and why she didn't take time out to nurture me as a daughter, especially when I was in my teenage years and when I got married, right? So this is my advice to you if you're in your 20s right now, that you need to spend time and watch some other YouTubers here. We've got doctors here, we've got psychologists, we've got other people who've gone through abuse, talking about their experiences. I've got one of my videos where I talk about the people that have helped me, and I come on here to help you as well, because if you don't know what narcissism is, your life will be derailed. You will not make progress. You will not you will not fulfill your potential, because whatever you know is not really of your own making, if I can put it that way. Because when you've got a narcissist, they want to shape your reality. They want you to depend on them. They want to control you. They don't want you to fulfill your potential. They don't want that. No. So your 20s is when you just come out of being a teenager and you're starting work, you're starting a business. You should start a business, by the way. If you want to be financially free, start a business. So you probably start a family, you want to travel, all those things. You just want to explore life probably before you reach your 30s. So now, if you find you're avoiding people, if you find you don't have friends, how is that possible? Uh, Obviously, you could do it. You could do it alone. But like I said, if you don't know what narcissism is, this is something that we are raising awareness of, because it affects people in ways. It's emotional abuse, so to speak, with a little bit of physical abuse thrown in, but it goes under the radar. So if I was to tell you that I've gone through narcissistic abuse, you'd be like, what is even that? Or you think maybe it happens to some people and not other people. But narcissistic abuse can happen to anybody, anywhere in the world, right? So I just feel strongly that you should take time out to know what love bombing is. Love bombing is a tool that is used by narcissists, especially in a love relationship, to lure you in. It's a trap because they don't have the confidence that you have. They don't have the empathy that you have. They don't have the brilliance that you have. So they want to take that away from you. They want to dim your light. They hate you for who you are because they can't be you. Now, so love bombing is too much affection. They don't even give you space to breathe. And the relationship tends to go on so fast. Before you even like have responded that I love you too, you're already like, I'm gonna get married tomorrow. And you're like, what? I mean, literally, it will be like that fast. So I just want you to know, to take time out and know about love bombing. Love bombing, I experienced it. I thought this was the best person I could ever dreamed of, I could have ever dreamt for, I could have ever asked for. I never used to pray then, but you got desires, you got like an ideal person, an ideal person in your own world that you want, right? So I remember just not wanting somebody who smokes. I didn't mind the person who drinks. And guess what I got? Wow. They did that, but they secretly. Can you imagine that? Secretly for almost 20 years. So now, if you don't know anything about narcissistic abuse, if you don't know anything about narcissism, you go through life wondering, why is my partner like this? Or why do I feel I have to be responsible for everything? Why do I need to keep on apologizing? Why is nothing is working? Why? You try to work, they make it impossible, difficult for you to work, to hold a job. You are always stressed. You are always anxious. You just are not living. Yes, you're breathing. Yes, you can eat. Yes, you think you are thriving, but you are not. And you will not. There's also narcissistic employers, managers. So you need to know all about them. They just don't have empathy. They don't care about anybody. It's all about them. It's their way, and otherwise no way. Now, let's talk about gaslighting. Gaslighting is one of the other tools that narcissists use. And with gaslighting, you end up having to ask for permission even to go to the toilet. I mean, I know in school, you have to tell the teacher, you have to ask, so they know where you've gone in case something happens, safeguarding. They need to know where a person is gone. But imagine having to now not trust yourself. You have to ask for their point of view, which which they'll use to control you, because they'll probably tell you, oh, that is nothing. What did they, what I mean, I could give loads of examples, but you need to know what gaslighting is, what it does to a normal human being. It erodes your self-confidence, it erodes your, oh god, you just become a shell of yourself, of your former self. Right. The next one will be smear campaign. You all know it's happening. You will not know it's happening, but I can 100% guarantee you, narcissists use smear campaign. I experienced it with my own mother. I experienced it with my own siblings. I experienced it with my ex partner. How do I know it's smear campaign? Right. I remember speaking to, the very first time I realized something is off here is when my own mother was going around saying things about me that were not true and that were meant to tarnish my image. Oh boy. I was still very young to even understand what was going on, but the human spirit is amazing. I remember saying to myself, I'm not gonna be like her. I'm not gonna, if she had a child at whatever age, I'm not gonna give a child at that age. I'm not gonna get married at whatever age she got married. I'm gonna do way more than she did. I mean, it wasn't competition, it was just like setting my standards higher than what she had achieved. Okay, that was probably my coping mechanism at the time, which served me very well. Now, my own sibling, I mean, I've only got one sister and one brother. They're all younger than me. Uh, I didn't know for the longest time that there was any smear campaigning going, or that they could be narcissist, or I mean, you cannot think your own sister could be like that, could you? Now, uh, the only time I got to know about that is when somebody said, you know what? Now that we are no longer together with your sister, uh, I'm just gonna tell you anyway what they used to say about you. And I was like, excuse me? I mean, that was like, uh, I can't say disappointing, but you know when you hear something and you don't want to believe it, but then whatever they're saying, you sort of like know, yeah, yeah. There's no other way they could have known about that. Had I not said it, or had not my sister said it to them, if that makes sense. Okay. Now, gas smear campaign from my own partner. You don't think that your partner any could not have your best interest at heart, would you? Because we met because of love. So if you love me, if I love you, we look after each other. We make sure we are all good, don't we? But no. No, it didn't happen that way. I learned the hard way, and it was how hard to deal with, because I was like, how is this even possible? How can your partner do that to you? Well, this is what happened. One of my friends came over to our home, and then we had issues where they left and then they came back after a year and a half. So when they came back, my friend at the time wanted to know what had gone on. Why did he leave, and then why did he come back? Boy, oh boy, I had things that I was like, that didn't even happen. Now I was being gaslighted in my face. I was like, I don't remember that happening. You know, when you know something that you did, but then it's being said, now it's a version that is edited. in such a way that it doesn't even make sense to you. And I don't know people who I believe narcissists, that why don't they ask them, like, what you're saying doesn't sound real. Okay, so the other time is when I saw a message on Facebook Messenger when when my ex-partner was saying that I had said things, or I'd called the police on them, but then when the police came, they found that he wasn't guilty, or there was no case. So now what he basically was saying was that there must be something wrong with me. Why do I call the police on him when he hasn't done anything wrong? You remember, narcissistic abuse is emotional. So if you're being emotionally abused, it's hard to tell people what's happening. But at the same time, the damage is being done. It's invisible damage, right? So I remember from that message, the person they were telling, because it was through message chat, they asked them what they'd done for them to get for them to let for the police to come for them. I didn't see the response there, because narcissists don't want to be questioned. If you want to test if a person is a narcissist, ask them questions about themselves, personal questions. They will not answer. Red flag there. Now, the reason why I want you in your 20s to know about narcissism is because once you've been smear campaigned, once they've love bombed you, and now you are in their control, they'll put you in what is called a narcissistic fog. You know, if you've ever experienced fog, you can't see. You need your fog lights for you to be able to see. You can only see, depending with the density of the fog, you can only see not a very long distance from where you are. So that is basically what will be happening in a narcissistic relationship. You don't know whether you're gonna be together tomorrow. You don't know if the relationship is still on or is it off. You don't know what to say to them that will not trigger them. You don't know what not to say. You don't know if, I mean, there's a lot of the unknowns that will be happening. So in your 20s, you need to know about narcissism. You need to know why you're avoiding people. You need to find out. You need to know why you have no friends. It can be them. Yes, I know we've got values, we've got goals, we've got ambitions in the differ, and that's okay. But if you just suddenly found yourself isolated, because that's what narcissists do, they want to isolate you, isolated, and but you want to have that friendship. You want to have you want to hang around with people, but then you find that's not happening. Just look at narcissism, okay? Now, the reason why it's so important for you to know about narcissism is narcissists will discard you. You are just like an object to them, right? You're just like an object. They use you and discard you. Not that like we do the rubbish in the bin. And the discard is painful because remember, if it's a love relationship, they've lured you in, and then you're always hoping for those initial days when they promised you they're gonna build a castle for you. If it's a woman like I was, when they promised you they're gonna take you to the Bahamas, they're gonna take you to Mars, I mean, you name it, all the things that you could think of. So now, because of those promises, it's called future faking that they did to you. You would think that whatever issues you're having, okay, you iron them out. But that doesn't happen with a narcissist. You will not sit down and iron out anything because it's their way or no way. Now, when they are done with you, they will do things that will make you want to just throw in the towel. But then you cannot throw in the towel because then you're thinking about all the nice things they did to you or they did for you. You fell in love with an imaginary person. They're not real. It's not them. I mean, it was an act. So you fell in love with an act. Now, in your 20s, take your time to learn about narcissism. Watch Dr. Leslie. Dr. Les? Surviving Narcissism. Watch Dr. Ramani. She's a psychologist. She talks about her experience with a narcissistic mother. Watch Mami Sotru. She went through narcissistic abuse. For some reason, narcissism, you are sort of like born with a narcissistic parent, and then if you haven't learned anything about it, you just keep on encountering other narcissists. You become a target for them because of your empathy, right? Yeah, they actually target us because they study you. They study what you want, and then they present that to you, and then you'll be like, oh my God, yeah. And then the other thing is, as you go on, you watch how they interact with other people. You can actually, like, what, like that at home? Oh, okay, so, yeah. Right, for example, they can just see an estate agent, a person who sells property, and then they know what makes them happy. So they could just throw in that as a joke, and then the person will just light up. So I heard them mention things like that with different people, that I just say this to them and then they'll just light up, and then I know I got them. And I was like, what is happening? I didn't know about narcissism then. So thank you for watching this video. Thank you for stopping by. Please write in the comment section narcissism so I know you got the message. Share this video with anyone in their 20s. If it's your daughter, if your child, if it's your niece, if it's your nephew, share this video with them. They need to understand that narcissism is real and it affects lives. And we just want to put a stop to it if we can. Okay? Bye bye.